Hey guys, so today I've just had a wash. I just took all my stuff off. Anyways, today was my what Elim Coventry and I call Elijah Prescription Day, which was basically eat sleep. Not that I slept most of the day anyway, but yeah, I couldn't really do anything. My muscles were aching everywhere because of yesterday. All the plants, pot lifting, the garden, digging, and then going straight from there all the way to KT for Bible school all evening, and then coming back. Like on the way back from KT, like my muscle behind, like under the buttocks. It was not the buttocks. It's the muscle under the buttocks. So it's not the buttocks. There's the buttocks and then there's the muscle under the buttocks. You could call it a thigh, or maybe it's the back of the thigh, or maybe it's the inside of the thigh. I mean, I don't know. I don't know all these things anyway, but it was really hurting me. And then this morning, like my muscles were aching me too. Like I was just real sleepy for most of the day. I had to eat a lot. I tend to eat a lot on my rest days actually. And yeah. And I still had my time with the Lord, but I was more or less just resting. And then yeah, and that was for me most of the day. I did have to clean afterwards because it's 2 days of not cleaning because I couldn't. So in the afternoon, like afternoon to early evening at 4 to 5, or 4 to 6 rather, I was literally I spent 40 minutes or maybe even an hour, maybe 40 minutes, 40 to 50 minutes doing the washing, like washing the dishes, because it was 2 days. Then I put the laundry in. Then I had to sweep, vacuum all the floors and the carpets, and then I had to mop it as well because my aunt, when she cooks, she was teaching me something to cook something, and she cooks quite messy, so there was like all these spills on the floor. And then when I put extra food in the fridge, I didn't realize the plastic was broken, and so all the soup bits fell out, so I had to obviously mop. Anyway, I had to mop on top of that. And then my muscles were aching me. I did do a discipleship meeting with my Eagles ministry. But then there was I went to the Katie prayer meeting online. And then after that, there was the other prayer meeting, Bible study meeting with the other group. And I was just kind of like, I can't do anymore. Like, my muscles are, you know. And yeah, and there's a lot of things that I've noticed with some other Christians. There's some Christians that say, oh, tiredness and fatigue are from the devil and everything's the devil. Okay, but I would like to point out that Elijah, when he ran from Jezebel, like he was tired and exhausted after having called down the fire of the Lord from heaven, and I know it was God doing it, but he was physically tired and he was drained and exhausted and he was fearful. And so God took him to the mountain. The Elijah prescription, that me and Elim Coventry are talking about, like God told him to sleep, God told him to get up, God gave him food in the mountain to eat, and then he was told to go back to sleep, and then he was told again to get up, and then he was told again to eat, and then he was told again to sleep. It was after about 2 or 3 times of this, and then he had strength for the next 40 days. And then there's Elisha, I think Elisha as well, when he was tired, he was taken to another mountain, and angels actually came and gave him bread, and he was told to rest. And then there's Jesus, like after he'd done a lot of healing, they said he went to Martha's house because he went there to rest. He needed to rest. Jesus was a human being as well as the Son of God, and so he had to physically rest his body, and he had to rest in Martha's house, in which she fed him, and he was able to sit down and enjoy company. Of course, he was talking wisdom, but at the end of the day, he was physically resting. And so he rested. Jesus rested. And on the boat, when the boats were tossing and waving, and the disciples were afraid, they had to wake Jesus up, because what was Jesus doing? He was resting. He was sleeping, because all the time that he was awake, he was out there healing people. So on the boat, even though it was all like turbulence, he had to sleep because his body was physically exhausted. Now, was any of that devil? Was the devil mentioned in any of these things? No. And there was just some Christians that are just like, they keep pushing through religious activities and they're not taking care of their body, and they can't give their 100% to the Lord. They can't receive 100% from the Lord because they are physically exhausted, and the Holy Spirit cannot do much with a body that is physically exhausted. I mean, I'm not saying that he can't, but I'm saying that you can do so much more for the Lord and receive so much more from the Lord when you are rested. Like, you need to take, you need that time for yourself. Not everything is of the devil, and there's so many Christians that are saying, oh, fatigue, it's the devil, and when I'm tired and exhausted and can't read my Bible, it's the devil. Not everything is the devil. There are times that yes, it may be, but you have to be able to discern which one is of the devil and which one is just normal as a human being, because Jesus experienced that too. So did Elijah, so did Elisha. You get me? All right, that's all I have to say.